How's it going, everybody? RazingHel here, and today I'd like to share with you a mod that I've been using recently called simply RestartButton. And what this does, probably as the name quite obviously implies, is it adds a restart button to the Civilization 6 escape menu. So for any of those wondering why exactly you would want something like this, for me anyway, this is generally the scenario that comes up. You dial in some custom configuration settings before starting a game. Say, for example, you change the size of the map, you change the difficulty, you change the speed, you change the actual map itself. Like I like to play on Pangea, but I know the game defaults to continents. Well, what happens then is once you have spent about 4 minutes or so setting all of those custom settings up, and then you launch the game, well, what happens if you don't like your starting location? Well, as is, without this mod, you're simply just going to have to quit back to the main menu and then dial in those settings all over again when you create a new game. The great thing about RestartButton is it remembers all those settings for you. So when you press escape on your keyboard and it brings up the escape menu in Civilization 6, you can simply click the restart button and the Civilization will quit to the main menu and then relaunch your game using all these as the same settings, but using a different map seed. So you're going to get a different starting location generated, but all of your other settings are going to be exactly the same. Now, there have been a few bugs with this in the past, and it is still possible that there exists like a memory leak or something, because there was code for this in the base game, and yet Firaxis decided not to enable it. So there must have been a reason for that, but by and large, this works. I've tried it multiple times, and I have not actually found any flaws in it. So if there are flaws, it is few and far between, and it does not counteract the massive benefits that I'm seeing in simply saving time when regenerating maps on a rather frequent basis. So now that you understand a little bit more about what RestartButton does and how it works, how do you get it? Well, it is available on Nexus Mods, and I will be including a link to that in the description below. Simply check down there. The link leads to a file. It's a very small file, just a few kilobytes. You install that, and I have the Windows set up right here. Once you have downloaded it, as you can see for myself, you will be able to extract it. It's in a zip file, and once you have extracted it, find the base folder. Once you have found this folder, you're going to have to navigate to your default installation directory for Civilization 6. As you can see right here, if it's anything common like mine, it's probably going to be Program Files, x86, go to Steam Apps, Common, and then Civilization 6, and there will be a base folder here. What you want to do is you want to grab the base folder that you just downloaded, you copy that, and then you simply paste it into this folder here. Any files that ask if you want to overwrite them, go ahead and check yes. Now, there is a caveat here, and that is whenever modding game files like this, you should always back up your original files. So if you do not feel comfortable with this mod's stability, you probably want to just go into the RestartButton files, find every single one of these, and then find the identical matching file in the actual Civilization 6 installation directory and rename that one to something else or save it in another location. So that way, in case things go belly up, you can always revert back to the old ones. Now, alternatively, and this is rather theoretical and it's untested, you should also be able to reset your files to the default ones by simply going into Steam, and then we can go Properties, go to Local Files, and then verify integrity of game cache. Theoretically, like I said, this should also replace any modded files in the game's default library. So if you have actually neglected to back up those files and you're experiencing problems, it should be easy enough to reset it without, spelunking through a lot of different information like multiple mods or reinstalling the game altogether. So once again, that is RestartButton for Civilization 6. I hope you found it useful. Let me know how it went for you if you've gone ahead and tried it yourself. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.